Four Friends in a Book is just what it says. Four dear friends discussing a book.
Let's talk books. Welcome back to Patchouli Podcast Network Studio here in the heart of Denton, Texas, where they are filming, Paramount is filming an episode of an upcoming television show, The Madison, starring Michelle Pfeiffer. Yeah, I know, Beth Marie's, that's what they've been doing on the square today.
Really?
I thought that was Landman.
No, Landman, they've already filmed up here. They're into season 2, so yeah.
That's awesome.
No, it's another Taylor Sheridan.
Okay, unpopular opinion. I don't find her to be that interesting as a producer.
Yeah, a lot of folks have that opinion.
Okay.
The one thing about this episode or this series that I like, it is predominantly featuring a female protagonist in Michelle Pfeiffer as the matriarch of the family, which is a new vibe for Taylor Sheridan. And they've got a female director. So we are hopefully getting to see some other perspectives.
Yeah.
Welcome to Four Friends in a Book. I'm one of the friends. I'm Joe Mays. To my left.
I am Diane Mays, and to my left.
I'm David Smith. And to my left, the lovely effervescent and...
My name is Teresa Starrett. Hi.
The starlet.
No.
she gets hostile about that.
I
I know, it's
do.
kind of fun. That's kind of why I
Say
enjoy
my
it.
name correctly, sir.
Yes, that is Dr. Teresa Starrett.
This is
How's that?
Just Teresa.
Well, you said to say it correctly. That is correct. That is technically accurate. Am I wrong?
No.
Yeah. Anyway, we are glad to be back in the studio.
Yeah.
We were on the road last week. I think we missed a week. Did we miss a week?
I think we did
We did last
Thanksgiving
week.
week.
Yeah, we missed
Yeah.
Thanksgiving week. I had some ideas and they never quite came to fruition, did they?
That's okay. There's always next year.
Yeah, that's right. Well, that may be enough time for me to actually be ready. I think we sort of took a hard left and decided for this episode, we're going to sort of recap our favorite books of the year so far.
Before we do that,
Please.
your book that you discussed last time when we talked about legal thrillers,
Mhm.
you talked about The Widow. You and Diane both had pretty strong opinions about it. So a non-recommendation makes me want to read the book even more.
Little defiant you are. I get
Just-
that. Mhm.
Just a wee bit.
Yep.
Stubborn is my middle name.
I get that.
Oppositional defiance.
So
Yeah.
that's, hang on, let me make sure I've got this right. Dr. Teresa Stubborn Starrett. Is that it? Yeah, gotcha.
So I read it,
Mhm.
and I believe your issue with it was that the ending came out of nowhere.
Mhm.
I respectfully disagree.
What?
Really?
And here's my reason. I, unfortunately, love true crime. And I mean, that's a lot of fun for me. Listen to a podcast that's specifically true crime.
Uh-huh.
I can see that it's plausible. I understand what you're saying about that. It doesn't necessarily lead the reader directly to the
In
conclusion.
the same zip code as the actual
I
outcome?
disagree with you. I think it's entirely plausible.
Plausible, sure.
I liked it.
I'll give you plausible. I thought the telling of the story was good, other
Mhm.
than the absolute disconnect between the whodunit and the rest of the story.
I don't know that it was a disconnect.
Agree to disagree.
Yeah.
As Charlie and I say when we're talking football, agree to disagree, my man.
There you go. Well, it actually could have been two different, very well developed stories,
Mhm.
but I didn't mind it.
Ah,
Yeah,
All
good to
right.
know.
There you
Yeah.
go.
Like I said, not my genre.
I know.
So,
It is
Yeah.
my genre. I love that
I
genre, legal thriller
do.
genre.
Oh, it was like putting on a comfortable pair of slippers.
Yeah, I like John Grisham. I was thinking actually about some old John Grishams that I've read in the past, including what was Christmas with the Cranks? What was the book that was based on? Canceling Christmas? Can't something? I'll have to look it up
know.
during the course of the
Mhm.
podcast. But the movie, they made a movie of it. I thought about that last night, that book, and it's like, that was a fun Grisham book.
I haven't read it. I think
Yeah.
I need to.
Yeah, I think I'll confirm. Speaking of books made into movies, did anyone watch Home for the Holidays?
I'm so sorry. We forgot. We'll do it. We'll do it. We'll do it before Christmas.
Okay, well, par par, bogey bogey, par par.
What does that even mean?
Oh, if you'd watched the movie, you'd have known. I'll just leave it at that. Leave it for you to figure out. Yeah.
Okay, I'm sorry. I just needed to share with you.
And that's the beauty of this podcast, but B, discussing books among readers who are passionate about books, is that we're all going to have different opinions.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
For example, David's discovered apparently a new genre that you're. we may take that to a different podcast.
I just want to point out, I'm not allowed to say it. My wife said no.
and we heard her say no.
We did.
Your wife said, you've said that so many times.
3 times.
Well, but the thing about it is, that's one of those things that the more times you say it, the funnier it gets. I'm not going to lie, Dave.
No.
Not that I'm egging you on or anything, but yeah.
No, it wasn't funny.
We'll go with there. All right, we'll leave it there because I'm in backhand range. So
Right.
we'll go ahead and move forward. As always, our Four Friends in a Book podcast is sponsored by Patchouli Joe's Books and Indulgences. Expand your mind and indulge your senses at Patchouli Joe's in Denton, Texas. You can find us on the interwebs at patchoulijoesbooks.com or at I don't know what the hell to get my wife for Christmas.com. Yes, that actually is a live URL that directs you to. I'll let you figure out where it directs you
Oh my
to.
gosh.
But it's not Rickroll.
I do want to say, if you haven't been into Patchouli Joe's in the last few weeks, you need to get here fast. They're running the most amazing opportunity for local listeners at this point, going live global next season, the Yola Book of Flood event, which is you come in and you list off 5 books that you really want, and then you turn in your slip and you buy a book off somebody's list of 5 books that they want. And I cannot recommend this enough. We've now done it. This is our 2nd year to participate.
We even brought in mom's
We
list.
brought in our my mother-in-law, Teresa's mom's list tonight, and we got it all filled out. And so we're super excited about it. And it actually, the cutoff date is December 5th. So get in here before December 5th, before the shop closes, get your list filled out. But the event, when is the actual?
19th.
The 19th of December.
From 5 till 7.
Refreshments.
Wear your jammies.
Okay.
There will be refreshments.
I just want to
You
point out
don't have to wear
public
your jammies.
appropriate jammies.
Fair.
And come in. And,
Something you'd wear on an airplane, for example.
you know what? I actually am buying some new jammies just for airplane travel.
Oh, my stars.
But that's a whole nother
That's-
Oh,
Speaking
yeah.
of travel,
That's why I love you, David. We're right here.
right here. We're right here. I mean, if you haven't made those reservations for the holidays or getting ready for your anniversary coming up, or just wanting to plot the perfect honeymoon for that spouse that you're going to propose to over the holidays, look us up. TravelDealBrokers.com. We're here to make all of your travel dreams come true.
Awesome.
There you go. I was just getting
Perfect.
ready to say, who else is this podcast sponsored by? TravelBrokers.com. TravelBrokers.com.
Travel Deal.
TravelDealBrokers.
TravelDealBrokers.com. Sorry.
Mhm.
That's all right. I mean,
Yeah.
you've got the jammies in there. That's all you need.
Yeah. And the important thing is TravelDealBrokers.com. There you go. And maybe we could get another one. I don't know where the hell to take my wife for Christmas.com may be available. And you could route that. You do some internet forwarding there.
I like that.
Yeah.
Just giving away trade secrets.
I don't know where the hell to take my wife for our anniversary.com or something. Yeah.
All the I don't know what the hell.coms.
Yeah, I did that. I bought that URL domain several years ago, and every year this time of year I break it out. And
To be fair, if Joe has an idea come into his head about a domain name, he buys it.
that's fair.
And
You really?
I can
do.
use it later.
How
Most-
many do you have?
Oh, probably. I just canceled a bunch of them.
Well, they're relatively inexpensive the first round.
They are. Particularly now, some of them are really expensive, but mostly they're really pretty cheap.
Really?
I just recently released several back into the wild. I've got a couple that are up for sale that I've never gotten any bids on. I just recently, yeah.
That's funny.
We've got.
Oh, yeah.
I do.
You're a collector.
I'm a
Yes.
collector.
A
Okay.
collector of
I'm-
domain
I like
names.
to collect things too, but not that.
Well, my hope is that at some point these will be revenue generating either in my hands or our hands
Got it.
or someone else's hands. So, but most importantly, we own patchoulijoesbooks.com, and I don't know what the hell to get my wife for Christmas.com. So
Perfect.
there you go. All right, moving forward. Now that
Yeah.
we've chatted a bit and got caught up, it's been a while since we've been in the same room. 2 weeks ago or 3 weeks ago, you were out sick. You joined us like a trooper. Thank you, David, for doing that.
I do what I can to keep the masses happy.
Got to push through the meat sweat sometimes. You just do.
If I had the meat sweats, I would have felt much better.
Yeah. Yeah. You know what the meat sweats are? There's that show where that guy would travel around and he did it for like a year.
Yes.
And he would eat these god-awful concoctions. And he says, yeah, you just have to push through the meat sweats.
Mm-mm.
And after like a year, I can't remember his name.
Nope.
After like a year, he quit doing the show because his blood pressure was like through the roof and his cholesterol was, 15,000 or some crazy thing like that.
That can't. Yeah.
Imagine that, eating, cheese-covered 72-ounce steak nachos wrapped in a Twinkie and deep fried or something.
Uh-huh.
Anyway, don't do that. Don't do that, kids.
I do want to segue real quick to talk about one of the other podcasts that we have on the Patchouli Joe podcast network, and that is the Old Bull Young
Old Dog Young Bull.
There it is. Because if you're anything about college sports or professional sports, it wasn't A&M's weekend, but you can find out what the pros are doing every week on Old Dog Young Bull.
Old dog. I am the old dog. Charlie's the young bull. I try and get him to walk down the hill, but yeah.
And speaking college football, UNT is number 20.
Oh.
And sadly, they're being left out of the college football playoffs so far, but they have a chance to get in it if they win the conference championship.
ACC.
Right.
They lost their coach, but they're going to potentially go to the conference football playoffs.
I was proud of them winning after losing their coach, after him saying he's leaving.
Yeah, I told Diane that generally goes one of two ways after when a coach announces he's leaving. Either the players are like, screw it, I'm done, or they will rally behind the coach.
For sure.
That sounds like this guy Morris has done a great job of keeping them together and building something where they understand, because a lot of these players may end up transferring as well.
So we got to get him in for a podcast on sports.
Yeah, before he gets out of here.
Wouldn't that be cool?
Yeah, we do talk about college football. We talk about NBA, talked a little bit about baseball when it was going on. So yeah, it's all sports. Right now, pro NFL football is our primary focus. We will be talking about the draft, considering how the Raiders are doing this year. So the draft
should have a good draft.
Yeah, unfortunately. So yeah. Additionally, we have some other podcasts. We have Circle the Wagons, which is a political podcast with Diane, myself, Charlie. Charlie is on, he's the young bull, on Old Dog Young Bull. He's also on Circle the Wagons, along with Josh Hatfield and Joel Hunt. They join us. We have some interesting discussions. We went way deeper into the economy and economic principles. My son John joined us couple weeks ago. I think we got way in over our heads, so we're going to take a step back, and we've got a new episode being recorded this weekend, or this week, Thursday, so it'll drop Friday. And finally, we also have another podcast that's being recording an episode today called Second Chance Book Club with Hannah and Haley. Hannah Gray and Haley Montgomery. They pick a book that one of them has read, the other has not, and they discuss it. And they've been best friends forever. I think in other previous lives, they were best friends. Their energy is insane. Once they get going, I dare you to keep up. So those are the podcasts that are up and running. There's a couple more that some folks here at the bookstore are looking to put together. So if you have ideas and are interested in coming up with a podcast, shoot us an email, patchoulipodcast@gmail.com. That is way more promotional administrative crap than I think any of us intended.
Let's talk books.
Let's talk books. I'm going to change the intro, by the way.
Okay.
It needs to be something a little more sincere. That was just fun and crazy, and Yeah, go something with sincere. Because the way I view this podcast is it is a love letter to books and to friendship.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I think we all bring to this. We joke around, we cut
Yeah.
up and so on. But that's how I feel about this podcast. It's a love letter to books and to friendship. So, yeah. So I think I'll do some tweaking on the intro.
Tweaking.
All right. You want to talk favorite books 2025?
Yes, I
Show,
do.
show
I
of
do
hands,
too.
who has a nonfiction on their list? Okay, you
Nerd.
Oh, hold on. Let me
you and
hear.
I can have a separate convo. I have two.
How many
actually.
books are y'all doing?
I have 5. I have 4 fiction. I've got a 5th fiction that I haven't had. I've got 2 nonfiction, but we don't have to cover them all. I think we agreed we'd do 3, our top 3 favorites for the year.
I have
Yeah.
3 fiction and 1 nonfiction, and I'm fine with tabling the nonfiction, but it's a good one, and it's it's book buying season for people's for the holidays, and I really these are all very different, but my goodness, they're good.
I
They were all
have no
5-star reads for
issue.
me.
Y'all throwing in a nonfiction.
Okay.
I only read 1 nonfiction, and I wouldn't put it as my favorite.
Okay.
So
Yeah, I had hang on, I got to do a thing. Measure.
I guess I kind of do, but mine wasn't so much a nonfiction. It was The Beginner's Guide to Raising Chickens. I'm going to tell you, like, it's one of my top books because, and I'm just going to jump out there because it's kind of humorous to me. I mean, you heard Diane laugh, but Teresa and I got into chickens. And so we're raising chickens. They're not always fun. There's some rough spots, and we're kind of mad at them right now because they're being chickens.
Chickenish.
Because they're picking on one of their friends.
They're picking on one of their
Oh.
friends,
And
and
I don't agree with that.
oh no.
Have you sat
Teresa's
him down
all
and talked
about.
to him?
I have a stool and I sit out there and they hop on my lap.
She literally will scold them, and
I do.
and the chickens listen. It's the most ridiculous thing. It's kind of like the dogs, and when she scolds the dogs, they're just like, "Yes, mama," and I'm just like, I scold them, they're like, "Whatever," but I'm just like, I just don't understand it. So, anyway, she's not feeling at her top of her game because her back hurts right now. So I had to go feed the chickens alone, and they don't want any part of me.
Did they talk to you? Did they talk?
No,
to
they
you
don't
at
talk
all?
to me. They literally don't talk to me. They scorn me.
Hmm.
But Beginner's Guide to Raising Chickens, Feed and Water Healthcare. So that was one of my books, but
I hope that's a nonfiction.
it is a
All
nonfiction.
right.
Chickens really are fun. They've
They're-
got different personalities, but
Mhm.
David's right. I mean, sometimes they're a little hard work.
They're not enriching because we give away our eggs instead of selling them. But we didn't take them to make money off of them. We took them so she could knit and crochet sweaters for them.
No, don't. I don't believe him.
Just a secondary benefit wasn't the intent, wasn't the purpose.
I want to see them in
not-
sweaters.
Well, then David better get to work.
I was just gonna say, at this
David got a
point,
camera.
at this point, they have not received their Christmas sweaters, but I
Sure.
feel like it's coming.
Is there gonna be a chicken ugly sweater Christmas party?
Oh, that would be so cute.
I know, right?
Yeah, but no.
Come on.
Did the book
Come on,
help?
stare it.
Did the book give you good ideas?
It gave us some good ideas, but I'm going to say it didn't prepare us for what truly is the life of raising or having chickens. And I viewed them as just an asset or a product. And Teresa made the point, and she always does, that we didn't take them to just have as chattel, essentially, from the old world term. But they're basically part of the family. And so, like, I'm just waiting for some chicken to walk out and soon be like, part of the family. And so
They're pets, and you take care of your pets.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, it's not like we have 100 of them. So it's been a lot of fun. I like them.
Don't know if I ever mentioned this before, but I actually grew up with chickens.
I thought you were going to say you were afraid of chickens, which has to be like, let's bring them on a leash.
No, I grew up with chickens in our backyard, of chickens in a garden. Turns out I was the only kid in any of the schools I ever attended who had chickens in their backyard. But yeah, I grew up with chickens in the backyard, so I am very familiar with the process of cleaning the coop, collecting the eggs, separating the chickens. Yeah,
Then we'll come to you for advice.
we had a puppy that my dad had a beagle and had bred her, and one of the puppies got around the chickens. Well, chickens got out of the pen and pecked out the dog's eye, so the dog was no longer sellable. So
Aw.
Tina became part of the family. No, Tony. Tina was the mother. Tony was the baby that lost an eye. They tried to save it, but the chicken was like, yeah, my yard.
Wow.
Yeah, chickens are no joke, man.
Yeah, I don't like when they misbehave. I mean, it is upsetting to me. And I know David's making fun of me a little bit for that, but I think we should all just be nice to each other.
Sure.
I know it's naive. However,
Yeah.
be nice.
Nature's
If you're going to live in my backyard, yeah, better be nice to each other.
You have your little hut with an attic fan and electricity.
These
Yeah.
chickens have a better life than the people in the house. So, but she does, like yesterday, she got kind of upset with the chickens, and she's like, listen here, you all need to straighten up. And they're all like,
Bark, bark, bark.
To be fair, I do the same thing whenever Teresa says that to me. I get that.
I haven't learned yet. So.
I feel the chicken.
Okay, so that's your favorite nonfiction. I thought we were not going to do nonfiction yet.
Well, I forgot about the chicken book, and I mean,
okay.
I wanted to lead with something lighthearted in the nonfiction arena, because so much of nonfiction today feels
No.
Heavy.
Yeah.
not just heavy, but just dark. I mean,
There's some fiction that feels that way too.
Mhm.
yeah,
One of my favorite fictions of the year is like that.
Well, let's start
dive
talking.
in.
Let's do it.
As the host with the mostest. So
No, I think this is what I love about this, because our conversations rarely travel point A to point B.
Absolutely
They
not
go
linear.
from point A to point banana to point tree. Yeah,
Welcome to my mind.
I feel that. Yeah, there you go.
So where are we starting with this? Starting with number
Dave's like,
three.
Start
Starting
let's
with
get the
number
agenda.
three. Let's start
Okay.
with number 3.
Oh, mine,
number 3.
No, mine are not ranked. Mine are merely these are my 3.
Start with one of your 3.
Okay, got it.
Is that fair?
Yeah.
All right. Now I have to figure out which of my
I know.
5 become my 3.
Mine are kind of ranked.
Yeah, mine kind of are
So-
too.
Well, why don't you start?
Okay, I'll start. My number 3 on the list is The Wedding People.
Slow clap. Love it.
I know, I have to put on my glasses by Alison Espach.
Oh.
And yes, I know you sharing this with me.
Such a good book.
Such a good book. The best dialogue, just the rapid fire dialogue and the characters that you knew them.
Yep.
And I missed these people when the wedding was over and when everybody went their separate ways.
Spoiler
and
alert, there was a wedding.
It's called The Wedding People.
Yeah.
So, just such a great ride.
I think one of the things that if you like a book about found family or families of choice,
Yes.
that's a great read.
I do have to say all 3 of mine probably qualify in the family of choice, found family,
That's a
found family. That's my
theme
thing.
that I enjoy
Yeah,
a lot.
me too. And I read this book for my book club, one of my book clubs that I'm in. And at first, the discussion, the couple of women were saying it was a beach read. Oh, it was good for a beach read. And the more we discussed it, the more I advocated. I was like, this was a deep book.
I agree.
It had deep meaning. It just looked like it was surface level, but it really had a great underlying theme. And
Quick 2 or 3 sentence synopsis of the story.
it begins with a woman, and this is not a deal breaker for the book. She is planning on committing suicide, and she goes to a hotel where a wedding is happening and meets the guests of the wedding, and things ensue, and
That's why I asked you that, because I knew that, having
Yeah.
thought through reading
I
this
tell
book.
Joe my books when I like
This
books.
was when I told Teresa this
Mhm.
weekend. This was, for some reason, I was going through a period of high anxiety when you were reading this book,
Uh-huh.
and going to bed at night, you would synopsize what you had read for the day. You did the same thing with Briar Club.
Yeah.
And it was absolutely lovely.
Spoiler alert, Briar Club comes up too.
Not the last time you're going to hear Briar Club tonight.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's why I asked that, because it's got such a the premise is so potentially onerous that it may scare some people away. But it reminded me a little bit of David Guterson's east side of the mountain.
I do not know.
Where this character, the protagonist, is going to take his own life, and then there's a story that happens.
Yeah.
That's what it reminded me a little bit of. So anyway, I guess what I'm saying is people shouldn't be frightened off by that sort of
Don't be
opening
frightened
premise.
by that, and don't think it's a beach read.
And if you are a person who enjoys reviews, take a lot of them with a grain of salt and make the decision for yourself, because I was shocked how divisive some of the reviews were. I mean, people loved it or absolutely did not. And I was one of the people who loved it.
Uh-huh.
And when I read the reviews, I was like, I don't understand.
Right.
Yeah.
I don't. Yeah. True. Don't believe everything.
Right.
Yeah. I never read the reviews before I start reading.
I don't either, except for The Widow.
Oh,
I was just about to say The Widow, because I was like, well, let's
Yeah.
talk about recommendations too.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I mean, because like,
Show of hands, who knew Teresa was going to like The Widow after we told her how much we didn't like it?
I had an open mind.
Mhm.
Yeah. I just wondered if she'd get to the end and
Yeah.
think like we did, but
Yeah, different
it's fine.
perspective. That's again. Anyway, sorry.
Yeah. No, I think it's actually hilarious.
Okay, who wants to go next on?
Yeah, so on a scale of 3 to 17 patchouli plants, where would you rank this one?
Oh, yeah.
It's my scale.
I was going to say chickens, but I'm with you.
Yeah, chickens. Okay, we'll go from 3 to 17. Well, no, actually, it's 5 to 12 chickens.
I'm not
equals-
going to rank it.
equals 3 to 17.
It was a
Really loved
5-star read for
There you
me.
go.
A
Whoa.
5-star read.
Okay.
I am very generous with 5 stars.
No, that's
I'm
not
not.
true. That's not. You're not unreasonably generous. You don't give them out for just anything. I've seen
Well,
it.
that's true. But
But if you love a book, you are all in on
But
it.
I have trouble going below like a 3, 5, because somebody took the time to write an
Uh-huh.
entire book, and I am not going to poo-poo on that unless it's
bad.
just really horrible.
Yeah. 3. We should do. We should talk about our rating systems one day.
One day.
Yeah.
I do want to say, so
I'll make a note.
I'm so grateful for the people who have been tuning in and listening and following us. And I actually got some feedback from a couple of different listeners who I've interacted with. They stalked me on. In real
Oh,
life.
wow.
No, I'm just kidding. And one of them made the comment. They're like, I wish you would mention the books one more time or drop them somewhere. So, because we talk about a
Oh.
lot of books.
Mhm.
And so they were like, if there's some way that you could mention them, a couple of times for so I could catch them or
Or maybe put them in the note.
put them in the notes. Absolutely. So we'll make
Great
note
idea.
of that.
Yeah, do me a favor, if you'll text me the books that
Of
you've
course.
chosen, I will figure out where to put them. We do have sort of a collective Instagram page, Chuli Podcasts on Instagram. We probably need our own separate one. It's just so many things to keep track of.
And we do have one on Facebook as well. So we'll tag that out there for you guys and we'll
Oh,
put
yeah.
the book list out there.
That'd
So,
be great.
Yeah. All right, there you go. So thank you for kicking us off. Great one. Like I said,
Great book.
Yeah.
Hearing you tell about it was it's one that's made my list to read in 2026.
Oh, you'll love it.
You will.
What about yours?
Other Dr. Smith.
Well, so I went back and forth. I'm gonna go back because I've got so many books. I mean, not Teresa level books. I haven't read like 355, but I've got some in here. And my first one, because I read it again for a second time because I loved it that much. Let me pull up my list. It's The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue. And I think the reason I love this so much, and it's by V.E. Schwab. I think the reason I love this so much is I get it. Like there have been times we all kind of want to be just kind of fall into the background or hide away from the world. But then you're like, I want someone to remember me. I want to do something memorable. And so it's a super powerful realization that you can get what you ask for, but it may be something that you don't intend for it to be. And that's my perspective on it. So this is probably my number 3 book if we're doing top 3. But if I was doing it last year, it'd be my top book. But this year it's my number 3 book.
Wow.
Oh, all right.
Yeah.
So you read some good books this year, in other words.
They were good for me.
Sure.
And that's so important to remember. Yeah.
And I think it's going to be, from this book, and it's interesting because I've read some of the top fantasy books out there, or I've looked at some of the top fantasy books out there. Some of them right here on the very shelves of Patchouli Joe's indulgences and I always get
Books.
the books. And they don't speak to me, but my first and second books are more in line with the fantasy book genre. And I'm just like, why don't I like these other ones? But this one, it has an element of fantasy to it, but it's just not the same as some of the other stuff I read. And for some reason I liked it. I don't know why.
There you go.
So,
All right.
yeah.
Question. Sorry. Is Road on your list?
Yes.
Okay. So that's one. I had 5. I had to filter out. That's one I can filter out because we're very entitled. Okay. Sorry. So, Invisible Life of Addie LaRue.
You make me want to read that. I want to
scale
read
from
that.
12 to 36 chickens. Where does it land?
It's a 50 chicken book for me.
There you go. 50
50 chickens. Whoa.
Yeah.
Whoa. They wouldn't all have names if we had 50 chickens.
I just want to point
Would they
out,
all fit on your lap?
not only does it get 50 chickens, but Oprah Winfrey loved this book. And if I love it and Oprah loves it, done deal.
There should be a Venn diagram book list of books that Oprah likes and David likes. That is a curated list
of one book
of refinement. Yeah, that's
one
top shelf.
whole book.
Yeah. All right. Invisible Life of Addie LaRue.
Okay. My first book, and mine are not in any order,
Right.
is called The Incredible Kindness of Paper.
Huh.
And this is by Evelyn Skye, Skye. I assume that's how you say her name. I read it as an ARC, and I just checked, and it is out. There are these 2 people, Chloe and Oliver. They become pen pals when they're in elementary school, and they write back and forth, which I know that sounds really dumb, but it's not. And then they become friends, and then, it blossoms into romance, or actually affection, when they're teenagers. But then something happens, and they're no longer in the same space, and so they are no longer in touch. And so fast forward 20 years, and she is a school guidance counselor, and she's feeling really down because of circumstances in her life. And so she starts writing, or she starts making these little origami, I think they're origami, yellow paper, and she whispers a message of encouragement into each of them and sends them off. And she writes a message inside as well. And you get to see what the power of kindness does to a myriad of people, and see how just small gestures can really make such a difference. And this was a 5-star read for me. One of those books that I wanted to hug afterwards. I loved it. Yeah. Great book.
All right.
And what was the title again?
Oh, I'm sorry. The Incredible Kindness of Paper by Evelyn
Kindness of
Skye.
Paper.
Yeah, and the cover's gorgeous.
That matters, dude. I'm telling you, there's a book that's on my list, and let me rephrase it. It matters to some people. There's a copy of a book that's a special edition from the publisher of a book that's on my list that if it's still there by the end of the week, I'm probably going to buy it just because it's so beautiful.
I have something to say about book covers too on one of my books. So
All right. See, this is
Yeah.
I do want to point out, it's interesting because when I was in 5th or 6th grade, we were required to have pen pals, and mine ended up being from France, and so I that book speaks to me from that standpoint. And she
Aw.
and I exchanged letters for probably a year and a half.
Oh my goodness.
And then I moved, and I stuff got lost in the move. But yeah, there's something magical about having a pen pal from another place and learning how to write in her language and her in our language
Mm.
was a really cool moment. And her name escapes me, and that's terrible. But it was instrumental, and it was part of our language arts
Mhm.
section where we had to do that, and so it was a lot of fun. And it was kind of empowering.
That's really neat.
Yeah, and I'm sad that time is gone, and
Mhm.
I'm sad that we don't have that same kind of realization in the world anymore.
Yeah.
So because I actually talked to my students today, and they're like, "Who writes letters? You
Yeah.
people are all gross." So, but yeah. So thank you for sharing that,
Yeah, it is such a fabulous book.
and a great cover.
And a great cover.
Okay.
Okay, you're up.
I'm up. I have, like I said, I've got a couple of nonfictions. If we have time, we'll roll those in. And I read several classics this year that I hadn't read previously or that I wanted to reread. Slaughterhouse-Five was one. All right, somebody's
I did. Something
camera.
went wrong.
Okay, can you sign
My
back in?
phone rang.
Ah, that's all right. Should be able to sign back in. What
Okay.
should I do? Yeah. All right, Diane's camera's coming back on, so while she's doing that, if
Is
you
it
just
back on?
no. But if you go back to yeah, it is.
It is?
I'm showing 3-second cameras.
Okay.
All right, so we're good.
Okay.
Um,
Awesome.
read Slaughterhouse-Five, which was almost made my top 3 list. Brave New World, Aldous Huxley's book. There's another classic, modern contemporary classic that I read that I'm not going to talk about just yet. So I read several classic fictions. I like reading and I know where you land on this.
Mhm.
I like reading classics because I want to understand how the world was viewed by the people at the time the books were written. There's a movie, and I think it may be a book. It's called The Man Who Invented Christmas, and it's the story of Dickens writing A Christmas Carol. Really entertaining movie. I thoroughly enjoyed it. Very probably nerdy. But again, it trying to see the world through the eyes of the people that write these classics, when they wrote them and what was their context. Diane has a point with regard to Slaughterhouse-Five. Kurt Vonnegut is his own genre. You don't go to read a book by Kurt Vonnegut, you are looking to, or you don't read a particular book, you're looking to read Kurt Vonnegut. His voice is so distinctive and so strong.
Is that the book you're talking about?
No,
Yeah.
that's actually, I'm just caveating my kickoff. You telling me to hurry? All right. Anyway, they didn't make my list. One of the classics did. This one's a little bit out of my normal wheelhouse. That is on my list. The Husbands by Holly
I know.
Gramazio. Story. There's this young woman who is really kind of uncertain the direction she should go. She's kind of settling in a relationship, and then she sends then people go up to the attic, and we'll just leave it at that. I don't want to spoil the story. I liked it because it seemed the suspension of disbelief was fun.
Yes.
But there was some real meat to the journey that the protagonist navigated in. What does she really want in a relationship? What does she want out of
Absolutely.
life? And the stuff going on around her was pretty comical, but the journey that she went on, to me, was there was so much depth to it.
Agree.
Now,
So yeah.
you didn't want to say much about it, but the book is called The Husbands.
What did
Or
I say?
Husbands. No, you just said something about the attic, but I think you can probably say
Oh, gotcha.
I think you can probably say what the phenomenon is.
Yeah,
You
because it
know,
happens. The
pretty
boy,
very quickly.
yeah, very
I
quick.
think it's on the cover,
I think it
actually,
is,
even
yeah.
explaining.
Yeah, the husband's the boyfriend goes up and a different man comes down,
Yeah.
and that
Yes,
happens
I read.
repeatedly.
Yeah.
It's really a lot of fun, but to me, the human journey that the protagonist, the woman who's protagonist, went through during the course of the story, I thought was really. There was some tragedy in there. There was
Mhm.
some comedy in there. There was just that search, that journey.
Like the yearning.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and but not knowing for what,
Right.
and trying to figure out what it is that she valued most. And yeah,
And lessons in relationships and in women's place. And yeah.
And I know you guys didn't like the ending of The Widow, but the ending of that book was outstanding.
yeah,
Oh
absolutely.
my goodness.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah, everything about that book I thoroughly enjoyed. Again, outside of my normal genres that I generally enjoy, but I really, that one stayed with me. So yeah.
And I haven't read this book, but just based on what you guys have said, and if you're watching us on the Patchouli Podcast Network, you saw my face. I was like, oh, because Teresa read this book and she described it to me so richly because she knows I probably won't read this book. But the one thing that stuck out to me, and I don't know if I said it to her then, but it's been stuck in my head, is it reminds me of The Runaway Bride with Julia Roberts, because she keeps finding all of these fiancés, but until she discovers who she is, she can't really figure out what she wants in a spouse. And the way it stuck with me for so long, as you were talking about it, Joe, very well, as a matter of fact, was Julia Roberts and how she likes her eggs. And if you've watched The Runaway Bride, she always liked the eggs the way that her fiance did before she left him at the altar. And then when she came back to Richard Gere, I think it was Richard Gere, was it?
I think so.
I think so. I mean, I'm probably overlapping with.
Wasn't Hugh Grant in that one? I don't know. Anyway.
No, Hugh Grant was Notting Hill.
No, yeah, Notting Hill was a great movie.
Uh-huh.
But she was like, I know how I like my eggs, and it's like the epiphany.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so I think the way you two have
Wow.
described the
I
husband,
love that.
that's pretty much all I see in my head. And not that it's the same thing, but it's just like.
But it's the same journey. And I think that to
Right.
tell that story of women's journeys, obviously as a man, that's not something I have any
Right.
experience with. But yeah, to be able to say, holy cow, that's
Wow. Yeah.
something, that's, again, seeing the world from the perspective of somebody else. Sorry, didn't mean to cut you off.
No, but I think it doesn't matter if you're telling it from the female perspective or the male perspective. You can't find the person that you are meant to be with until you figure out what you yourself are wanting. And so Teresa often says to people, we found each other at the right time. And it's true, because if I had met her 3 years earlier, it would have been, well, number one, we were both married, but that's not to other people. But it would have been like, I was a terrible mess, hot mess. So
yeah, same. I get that.
Yeah.
All in good time.
Exactly.
But yeah, I love that message, and the eggs is a perfect analogy for that.
Great parallel.
All right, so that's mine.
All
like I
right.
said, a little out of left field on the genre, but
I have all the warm fuzzies. It's
such a great book.
Such good book.
Yeah.
Like,
it was just so, I think about it and I smile. It's just fun.
So we need to make sure we get these in the notes, because I literally have enough books to read. So,
Yes. Yeah. Okay. So my next one, number 2, is the Briar Club, which we had a whole episode on, me talking about the Briar Club.
Did you like it?
By Kate Quinn. Oh, I absolutely loved it. I have recommended it to so many people who have also loved it.
It was
Book
good.
clubs have loved it. I just really loved that journey. So should I recap about it? We already have a whole episode about it, because I also want to throw in this spot is an honorable mention, which is The Bright Years by Sarah Damoff. It's a book about family drama and with alcoholism, and in the POV of 3 different characters as you go through. And I I was so surprisingly was crushed at the end, sobbing on the patio as I finished the Bright Years. Joe
Mhm.
came out and was like, "Oh my God, what's wrong? I just finished that book." And then
Aw.
we had a book club with Sarah Damoff
Mhm.
within the hour. So I get to the store and I'm still all puffy-eyed, and I'm like, "Sarah, you made me cry." And she
Aw.
hugged me and she goes, "I'm so sorry." I said, that's how I know it was a really good book,
Yeah.
is if I'm so involved in the characters that at the end it tears your soul apart a little bit.
Yes, to evoke that
Yeah.
is amazing.
Yeah. So Briar Club, really number 2. Bright Years, though, I have to have a shout out for my honorable mention in my list of books.
Sure.
So
I guess I'm up. Okay. So this is one I've talked about previously, and it was a last minute read for our book. I call it the book club for the podcast, and that's the Bookshop of Secrets.
mm,
And I'm going to tell you, so for me, historical fiction is kind of like my jam.
Mhm.
I don't know why, besides a cozy mystery. I mean, let's be honest. But the kind of like Addie LaRue, Carrie Barrett does a great job of describing war-torn Europe, and especially in Lisbon, and a journey that this young woman is on to find her family. And I'm just like, oh my gosh. And then I mean, I don't know how much I can talk about without giving it all away, but just how she comes into her own identity, and the growth that you see in her over the course of the book is so enriching. And I really enjoyed this book. And I forget which episode of the podcast we did it for, but that's when I read this book.
I remember
maybe
discussing it.
it was Briar Club, maybe
Was it
because
that?
that's
Okay.
historical fiction.
Okay.
So
Yeah, and I just really enjoyed it. So, I mean, it was something I wouldn't have read normally.
Hmm.
I mean, I love the genre, but it wouldn't have been something that jumped out to me. But I'm glad I did, and I think I'm better for it. So, I think you've read it. Is that correct?
I don't know if it wasn't this current year.
She's read so many books that
No, it just wasn't this current year. I would have
I
to
think
look
it
at my
actually
list.
published this year, if I'm not mistaken. Let me
Okay, then I have not read it.
yeah, published February 2025.
Nope.
oh, there you go.
Unless you read the arc.
I did not read the arc.
Okay.
No, because it's not on my that one's not on my list, but I'll read it. It sounds great.
Yeah. That sounds fun.
Yeah.
I like I said, I remember you discussing that previously and how thoroughly you enjoyed it and how intriguing it was.
Yeah, and I think, I mean, it's gotten me back into the more espionage spy portion that I love to read, but there was less violence in it.
Mhm.
And I think for me, post event, as I call it, that's kind of a little bit more okay for my,
Sure.
kind of keep me regulated.
Yeah.
So
Understand.
Okay.
You're up, Doc.
Okay. Now, you guys know that I love chickens. I love people.
By the way, those of you who've seen our logo, that is where the chickens in
Chickens
the
come
logo
from.
came. There's
There you
4
go.
chickens, 4 friends. Sorry, go ahead.
I love dogs, but I really love cats. And we
Yeah.
just lost our sweet baby 4 weeks ago tomorrow.
Oh,
And
Mr. Kitten Bear.
Mr. Kitten Bear. But one of my favorite books, one of my top 3, was a book called Cats People. And it's by Tanya Guerrero. This is an arc I read earlier this year. It is out now. And it's about this stray cat in a neighborhood in New York. And the human, one of the humans in it, she is a member of Meow Yorkers, where they help these stray cats, and it's told by the cat's perspective. And so the cat,
cute.
yeah, the cat talks about I can't remember what he calls this character. Nuria is her name. I don't remember what he calls her, but the rainbow lady, because she's just like, she's delightful and she wears colors. And he also interacts with the postman and then the person who owns a bodega. And it's and two other people, it's how they all come together to take care of him. None of them know that the other is doing it, but then they become, found family for each other.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
But
yeah.
it brings them together, and it brings these people who've got some really difficult challenges a reason
Hmm.
and a way to help, and then a way to connect to each other. It was just beautiful. And the cover is not, it's not my favorite cover. However, the story is so heartwarming. I loved it.
What's the title again?
It's called Cats, CAT''S, People. So it's this particular cat.
It's the cat
people
people.
who-
Oh, I love that.
It's delightful. It is
Oh.
just wonderful. I highly recommend it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Excellent. That's again, I love this.
I know, I do too.
My next one is again, maybe a little surprising to people who know me. But Sunrise on the Reaping by Suzanne Collins.
Oh, okay.
It is after the first 3 books, they went back to the 25th with Snow when he was ascending the president in the first Hunger Games, Donald Sutherland. And then this one is Haymitch, the Woody Harrelson character in the first Hunger Games movies with Jennifer Lawrence. That his character Haymitch at the 50th Hunger Games when he was a participant. The Hunger Games kind of trope, it's become a trope. I mean, everybody kind of knows what it is, but Suzanne Collins does a really good job. And Diane said this about, and I can't remember the name of the Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes. Is the one that is about President Snow. She does a tremendous job of taking unlovable characters and making you care about them, which is really that's a skill that not every writer can do. They can take lovable characters and make you love them, and makes them kind of humanizes them.
I agree with you.
The only miss on this is for the audiobook. Absolutely 10,000% should have been Woody Harrelson reading.
Oh gosh,
What
that
a
would have
miss
been great
by the publisher.
He may not have. They may have asked.
I was going to say. I mean, he
doesn't have to.
He may have been asking for big money.
Yeah,
That's true.
It would have been worth it. They would have sold, I think, even for the. Yeah, I think. Anyway, that was the only miss. I loved the story. It did not end happily, as many of the Hunger Games stories don't. That
you have to kind of go into it knowing that.
Yeah, it's a little heavy, a little dark. But just a lovely telling of an unpleasant story.
Yeah,
and I love being able to go back, having read the books and seen the movies of the first round of Hunger Games, and then but to take a deep dive into some of the other characters. It's a tremendous business concept for Suzanne Collins to be able to go back and say, we can reap more from these books, but it's also just the telling of the backstory of these characters that were almost incidental in the first round. Anyway,
do you think she's doing it to fatten her bank account, or do you think she's doing it because there's an opportunity for a new story? Like, I think in some of the Star Wars, which that's my jam, right? I feel like it's an enrichment piece and portions of it. But I think from the way you described it, like the Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes, right? And then you go into the Haymitch version, I think it's completely different. Like when you watch the movie, you were repulsed by Donald Sutherland and the character that he played as the president, but you're also like, if you think about the juxtaposition of Woody Harrelson from the standpoint of playing Haymitch and the genre, and then you have it from the perspective of when he was was it Kingpin, where he's the bowler with the one hand?
Yeah.
I mean,
Woody.
He is the perfect villain, or the perfect person that you want to love.
Yeah.
Because he's so hard on Jennifer Lawrence, but you're like, he's just doing it to keep her alive. It's
Save
like the
her
drill
life.
sergeant mentality.
Yep.
And you're like, I want to love him so badly, and I can't help but to love him.
And
I think to
that
answer,
book makes you love him.
yeah,
Mhm.
to answer your question, I think it was to enrich, to deepen the story. Now, again, from a business perspective, it absolutely enriched her pocketbook. They've made, obviously, they made a movie of Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes that was Snow's origin story.
Which I just have to say was 10 years. The 10th
the 10th
game was Snow, because he was pretty young
Gotcha.
in that one.
And then they've got a movie coming out of Sunrise on the Reaping, which is the Haymitch origin story.
Which will be cool.
Thank you for repeating that, because I couldn't remember what you had said. So the Sunrise of Reaping?
Sunrise
on the
Reaping.
On the Reaping. Okay.
Yeah.
It almost makes you want origin stories from more of the people.
I want to know the origin
Yes.
story of the crazy makeup lady who comes
me
out.
too. I
I
thought of her with the
absolutely-
Haymitch thing.
Yeah,
Yes.
absolutely. She's in that. She's in the Haymitch story, but I want her.
Yes.
I want an entire book about her. I want to know where she came from.
There's no telling what's coming up.
Yeah.
And she's still
If
writing them
Suzanne-
so well.
Suzanne Collins,
Right.
if you're listening, we want her story.
Well, I
Or
think
come on the podcast and tell us the story.
Oh, please.
Even better.
I think for me, the beauty of that is the humanization
Yeah.
of all the characters. You know, I still, even after reading the Snow one, still
Mhm.
don't like him.
Yeah.
But now I have a different perspective.
Yes.
Well,
And I love the Haymitch one.
and the with Haymitch, everything you said about where the Woody Harrelson character played that character so well,
Yeah, he did.
of saying, look, I'm not going to get emotionally attached to you, but because he cared so much as a human being about this other human being, I'm going to do everything in my power to make sure you stay alive. But that wall, Sunrise on the Reaping, explains that wall.
Yeah, it answers the question.
Yeah.
So absolutely, that's one of my favorite
Great
reads of
choice.
the year.
And you know, I mean, not to belabor the point, but Woody Harrelson has personified Haymitch.
Yep.
Yep.
And it's kind of like the roles that Tom Hanks plays.
Mhm.
No one else can play those roles.
Yep.
Right? If you read the book Saving Private Ryan and then you watch the movie, you're like,
Duh.
that is Tom Hanks. I
Right.
mean, there's no way to separate the two. And I think your original call of he should have read the book, 100%.
Yeah.
But would he do it?
I think he could have been persuaded. Matthew McConaughey's, was it Green Lights?
Yep.
Yes.
Green Lights, him reading
But he wrote it.
yeah, but
He read his own
still,
work.
that alone, the fact that he read that
Yeah.
book, sold additional audio.
Unless
books.
they wanted a younger voice.
Yeah.
Because
which
it
is
was
good.
young Haymitch.
Mm.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
Anyway, great
like it.
story. If
Yeah.
you're interested at all, if you like the Hunger Games story arc or that universe,
Mm-hmm.
Sunrise on the Reaping absolutely lives up to the billing of all the other ones.
Okay.
The bar's high. It met it.
It was one of my 5-star reads of this year, too. It just didn't make my top 3.
Sure.
My number 1, which I would not have picked because of its cover.
Hang on. Let
Oh
me see.
my
I think
goodness.
I
I
have.
do not. The cover does not make me.
Oh, do tell.
It's pale colors
Mm-hmm.
and the drawing on it looks cartoonish, and so I'm like, I don't know. But the book is called To Tender Hearts. that was
That's
that
a
supposed to
drum
come
roll.
before it.
Yeah.
Okay, I
and
can
it's by
visualize the
Annie
cover.
Hartnett.
Yes. Okay, I can visualize
Yeah.
the cover.
I don't like the cover. I wouldn't have picked it up. Charlie gave it to me for my birthday because he had read the synopsis and said, "Oh, this sounds like a book you'd like." It is my number 1 book. I read fantastic books this year.
Mhm.
It is my number 1. It just absolutely is a lovely book. I'm going to read.
This is the book I asked her about because it was on my list
Yeah.
as well. I said, "Is Road on your list?" That's the one I was talking
Not
about.
the Road.
Okay,
Road
I
to
wondered.
Tender
I wondered
Hearts.
why you guys both had the road on your list.
And the protagonist is 63-year-old man.
Mhm.
So, but it's got so many other characters in it that you love and enjoy. At 63 years old, $1 million lottery winner PJ Holiday would be the luckiest man in Pondville, Massachusetts, if it weren't for the tragedies of his life. the sudden death of his eldest daughter, and the way his marriage fell apart after that. So there's this man, life has fallen apart, but he's won the lottery. And he is the quirkiest old man. And
Hey,
then
63 is not old.
I know, and maybe
Relatively.
I was 64 reading this book, but the people that he picks up along the
Mhm.
way, it has got severe tragedy in it
Mhm.
that you laugh out loud when you're reading about it.
Wow.
The way it's written is just incredible. And you're like, I shouldn't be laughing at this part, but you can't help it because it is written so humorously.
And he
And then
stumbles through it so clumsily.
he does. And then he's got these children that he has to become responsible for that are going through tragedy, but it's funny. It is,
And
the
poignant.
humor in it is just amazing. And then the journey is so worth it all the way through. And you're surprised by quirky little things. And it's just a fabulous book.
So it is such a wonderful presentation of human interaction on so many different
Yes.
levels from so many
Yeah.
sort of offbeat facets.
And I'm about to reread it or re-listen to it because I suggested it for my book club, my International Women's Book Club, and it's either January or February that because I want anybody who hasn't read this book to read this book.
It's one I would reread.
Absolutely. Yeah. And I'm looking forward to rereading it. And I'm not a rereader.
The only thing
Not
about
either.
it is, as I was reading the book, you talked about the quirky main character, PJ, is figuring out who would play each of the characters from the book in the movie.
Yeah.
I kept trying. That's how alive they were coming off the
Yep,
page, as I needed
absolutely.
a face to put on them. So
Yeah.
So I'm intrigued because I would have picked this up off your shelves.
Really?
But you don't have it here.
We don't at the moment.
that's
So-
because Diane keeps hand selling it.
Yeah.
Well, and part of the reason I would pick it up is while I am not a lover of the covers of books, this reminds me of a classic cartoon strip from when I was a kid, just the way the art is drawn. And so it's like,
Interesting.
is there going to be like cartoons
Yeah.
in the middle? Because I'll read that for the cartoons.
And
You-
what's that movie that I'll have to think where the girl's going to the beauty contest. They're driving across the country.
I don't know.
Oh, Juno.
No.
No, not Juno.
Anyway.
Sandra Bullock in it?
in the
No.
Oh.
no, they're in a Volkswagen.
Yeah, and the boy is wants to become a pilot, but he's colorblind, so he finds out he can't. And it's got Steve Carell is in
Okay.
it.
Is the uncle? Yeah.
Anyway, I'll think of it. I'll think of it. Sunshine, Little Miss Sunshine.
Little Miss Sunshine.
Oh,
Little Miss
okay. Yeah.
Sunshine.
I was like, wait, what?
Yeah, it has Little Miss Sunshine vibes.
Oh, wow.
Okay.
You know what other vibes this book had? Both the cover and the telling of the story. Tim Robbins. Even
Mm.
Cowgirls Get the Blues. Can't think of other Tim Robbins, but
I don't know if I've ever read Tim Robbins.
I read those back 1,000 years ago. Both the cover and the telling of the story was so quirky, but so human.
Yeah, it was. Yep, highly, highly recommend this book.
Okay.
Awesome.
I'll endorse that one.
Yeah.
Well done.
What you got?
I don't have a single book because I don't feel like if you're going to be my number one, end quote, spot, that it should just be a single book. So I chose a series.
Yeah.
And it's called the Mystic Caravan Mysteries. And what I like about this is it is fantasy because it's got werewolves, it's got demons, it's got merwomen, it's got a little bit of everything.
Huh.
And the protagonist, I don't use these words that often, so I'm going to be kind of fun with it. The protagonist really is Poet Parker, and she is a Romani. And that's basically like a not fortune teller, but she can see the future and she can identify different things going on. But they're all part of this traveling caravan that goes from city to city across the United States. And it's a super cool series where they solve all these mystical issues, right? Because it's not just finding the children or saving the town. It's also, how did this happen, or what
Mhm.
got us to this point? And so depending on which one you're reading, that is really just a different mystery. But much like the three of you, this is about a story of found family, because
Huh.
each one of the people that are part of the caravan have come from different points around the country, and have come because they're lost, or they're looking for
Mm.
for someone that will accept them, or they want someone to love them just for who they are. And it's a powerful story of how these different identities can come together, and they're so at each other's throat in much of the books, because they're all young adults or teenagers, and they're like, oh, it's got to be my way or the highway. But when push comes to shove, they are so close knit, and they protect each other as if it was the last person on earth. And they're just like, I love this. There's some
Huh.
romance in there, which is just gross, but whatever. I mean, it's a great series, and I find it to be really empowering to see a female-led genre, or a female-led series, and you're just like, I really want to read more about this person. There's 21 books total. I've read to 19. I haven't read the
Wow.
last two, and the last book that's in the list hasn't come out yet, but highly recommend it. Uh, 85 chickens. And if, I mean, for what my rankings are worth, it's 5 stars.
I love
So
a series.
I do love a series. I
Um,
mean, you know me. And Teresa can vouch for it. Whenever I get so frustrated, because I'll be like, what am I going to read now? Like, because I'll run out of books, and then I'm just like lost. And then I like having to put
Huh.
this list together. I was like, there's a book I haven't read out of the series yet. So I've already gathered it up, and they're usually between 280 and 305 pages. And I will absolutely just burn through the books.
Wow.
And I love them. They're available in paperback and your local bookstore, but Julie Joe's Indulgences and Books can probably obtain those for you for your holiday stocking stuffers.
We could.
there you
All
go.
righty. All right. Are you ready for your final, not ranked, but final?
I am.
Hang on. Wait for the drum roll.
I didn't get a drum roll.
Sorry.
That was David's drum roll because he didn't get a drum roll. This is your drum roll.
I get double drum roll. Take it away. Okay. My last book is The Book Club for Troublesome Women. And I saw it on y'all's shelf the other day. And this is another one that I read as an ARC. And I think probably one benefit of me reading ARCs is sometimes they don't have covers. And so maybe I'm reading some things that I wouldn't have read,
Right.
before, because I'm all about the shiny. Okay. I
It's
love
true.
books about books. I love books about, like we said, found family. But I enjoy, I will read your bookshop book because I really enjoy learning about how everybody else interacts with books and with reading. But this book, oh my goodness, it's set in the 1960s, and there are these four women who they don't love their lives, for one reason or another, and they create a book club. And at first, it really, you're like, is this going to work out? Because they're kind of clunky and together.
Will you pull
And
Teresa's drink back?
oh,
What?
Mhm.
Oh, is the hands getting going? Yeah.
that would be bad.
It wouldn't be the first time a beverage has been
A
spilled on this
beverage.
podcast table.
This book brings up so many topics that I'm sure in the 1960s were taboo. And even now,
When was it written?
it was written this year.
Okay, but it was set in the 60s.
Yes.
Gotcha.
And it's such an amazing glimpse into the past, and then how complicated our relationships with, partners, with extended family, with friends, how complicated things can be, but also how seamless they can be.
Mm.
And so this one was another 5-star read for me, because this group of women made an indelible little mark on me. And so I highly recommend that one, and that's the book club for troublesome women. Great book.
I've
Well,
heard good things about it. I
Oh,
just haven't read it.
I highly recommend it.
Yeah.
Yeah, good one.
okay. And again, for those of you listening, we will collect all these books that are being discussed here, and we will include them. And if I can figure out how to make links, we'll put links to order them. If not, we'll just at least get the titles and the authors out there so everybody can see them.
Yeah.
And my top book for the year, this came in late. I just read it. It is a classic. I've already cautioned you to not read it because
Oh, that's right. Okay, gotcha.
it's
Yep.
a little heavy, and
Mhm.
that is Parable of the Sower by Octavia Butler.
Amazing book.
Written in 1993. It actually references, and it's based on the biblical parable of the sower from Luke. Anyway, but it is the story set in the book starts in 2024. It was written in 93, set in 2024, and runs through the next 3 years. In a sort of, if you were to imagine worst case direction that our country could go at this point without getting political,
Right.
it's kind of the worst case direction it could go, and it didn't really hit me as we're listening to the story.
It's one of many of the
Yeah,
directions that things could go.
and it wasn't until after that, if you're familiar with the parable of the sower, it's worth looking up if you're not. But just so this next reference makes sense to you. But it was almost as though the characters in the book were the seeds that were sown in the biblical parable of the sower, not just
Characters in the book.
Yeah, not just characters in the
I
book.
just want to throw this in. Parable of the Sower can be found in Matthew, Mark, and Luke.
There you go. It came from Sermon on the Mount. Is that correct? While you're
I don't
looking things up, anyway, not the Octavia Butler version. Just absolutely phenomenal. Anything I say would spoil it, other than it's written in 93, but it's set in 2024, runs through 2027 in a, what in 1993 would have been a near future dystopian world. Some of the things that Octavia Butler came up with were frighteningly prescient. There is a sequel to it called Parable of the Talents, that from initial reading it, I can't wait to read that one. But just looking at initial reviews or initial summaries of it, even more prescient. So yeah, Parable of the Sower by Octavia E. Butler, absolutely my top read for the year. There's in many cases, the classics are classics for a reason.
Okay. 93, I don't consider, I wouldn't go back to 93 and say, what's a classic from 93? I think of classics as, dusty books on the bookshelf. Octavia Butler, so incredibly talented.
Was the other one Kindred that you read?
Oh my goodness. What a book. And I really would read The Parable of the Sower
It's very heavy.
Yeah, if it weren't a difficult read right now. And I know, reader, I know myself, and I think it's probably a safe bet that I can read that in a while.
It's not going anywhere. And
Right.
to me, it was one of those that I don't know if it was considered a classic immediately. I kind of get the sense that it was, but certainly looking back, 32 years, I think looking back 32 years from 1993 to what you're looking at classics that are 32 years old. This book's now 32 years old. So, 25. And
when did that happen? Yeah,
I know, right? Oof. But yeah, it was, I would absolutely classify it as a classic, just simply because it's such a heavy story, so brilliantly and beautifully told. So
sticks with you. It's awesome.
Yeah, sticks with you. I still
you.
wonder about Lauren and Keith and what could have been different. So
Yeah,
she's an amazing writer.
Yeah,
she is.
if you haven't yet discovered Octavia Butler, go read Kindred, go read Parable of the Sower, and then Parable of the Talents. Anything you can pick up from her,
100%.
won't regret it.
Just reading the summary, like, it's prescient.
Yeah.
Yes.
I mean, wow.
Yes.
Because it's 100% what we're seeing today.
And we were driving from California, from the area of California that the book was taking place in. And we knew the area that they're looking at and traveling through.
Wow.
Oh my gosh.
We literally had been to the zoo with our granddaughters, or with our granddaughter, the older one, and my son, John. We had been to the zoo off of Highway 118. And in the story, they talk about going 118 to 23 to the 101. We went to go there. We went up 23 to 118. We literally had just driven to the ground,
what they're talking
That's
about.
that's
leaving, but
a little
yeah.
eerie.
Ooh,
Yes.
There's one part in here, and I mean, you've read it, I haven't, but I'm going to read it now. It talks about the public services, like police or firefighters, for profit.
Mhm.
There are some towns that are you pay for public services like fire protection, police protection. There are some towns that are allowing businesses and individuals to pay a premium so that they receive first call out in the event of a
really,
fire.
this
or-
is happening.
Yes.
Yep.
And so it's an interesting reality because cities are becoming more cash strapped as they're capping their property taxes. This is a way that they can make up some of that lost revenue. And so let's say
Wow.
Patchouli Joe's, for example, didn't pay the premium fee to the fire department, and God forbid a fire happened, we will get there as soon as we have a fire truck available for dispatch. Whereas another business down the street, they're like, oh, we paid the premium this month.
Mhm.
They would get first call out.
You know who else has a similar sort of business model as that? The mafia. That's literally a protection racket.
I actually thought of that as well.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yes.
But
Making public safety, your safety, a for-profit
Right.
enterprise.
because they've
Horrifying.
created the situation.
Mhm.
So
Mhm.
Well, on that note,
Yeah, on
Yeah.
that happy note, anybody got any good books? Happy
Yeah.
books?
actually, I could tell you about my nonfiction.
Is it a happy one? Most nonfiction these days aren't, as David said. So
Well, but I don't read that kind,
Okay.
honestly. No, this
do you need a
book,
drum roll?
I always need a drum roll. Thank you.
Should have that drum roll following us around.
Yes. No, this is called Everything is Tuberculosis.
I've
By
heard
John
great things.
Green.
I haven't listened
how
to
is
it
this
yet,
an
but-
uplifting book?
No, it's an amazing book.
Okay.
I did not know I needed a book about tuberculosis in my life.
Yeah, I have got
Convinced me.
to.
Yeah,
got to
John was
read
talking
it.
about that. when we were
Fabulous.
out
Yeah.
there. Mhm.
It is such a good book, and he talks about the history essentially of tuberculosis, but then also about now. And he also befriended a person, a young boy who had tuberculosis, and so he kind of interweaves his story as well. It was such a good book, and so if you if you're listening and you know that somebody really enjoys nonfiction over fiction, get this book.
Yeah.
It is so good. It's short.
Yep.
Um,
Heard nothing but great things about it.
Yeah.
Actually, I think it was Alyssa. It was either Alyssa or John, my son or daughter-in-law, who was mentioning that that's a book they
And
have
somebody
to get.
has told me that he reads the audiobook and that
Oh.
he's fabulous to listen to.
Yeah.
So to read his own work. So
yeah, I have no
yeah.
reservations about recommending that to anybody.
I need to do
Great
it.
book.
I may do that now.
So
All right.
I want to point out, I'm not going to talk about the book now, but I'm just going to put a little tease out there. As we get closer to Christmas, in our last episode before the holiday break, I want to talk about a tradition that we have in our home and a book that has come to mean so much to our lives.
Uh-huh.
And our kids are adults now. And just the other day, they're like, do you have the book? And are we doing this and so we read a night before the night before Christmas, and it's a tradition. And I'll talk about it in a couple episodes, what we do and how we use the book. But the kids, again, older adults, 25 and 30.
One.
I wasn't going to go there. And our son and daughter, and our daughter's husband, and I think our son's girlfriend has actually said that they're looking for our son-in-law. I know for sure, but I don't want to speak for our son's girlfriend. They're looking forward to it. And it's become
Wow.
a tradition, and it's something that I had never heard of until I met and became part of our found family. And so it's a powerful thing, and I want to talk about that.
Well, ask me about my dad's take on that book. Once we go offline, there's a story behind 'Twas the Night Before Christmas.
That'd be a good podcast for when we talk about Night Before Christmas. Maybe that should be one of our.
Is that next, or we?
Oh,
don't know these names.
Couple weeks?
Diane, it's your choice next.
No, she
No,
just
I
did.
just
she
did
just did
Indigenous.
Tommy Orange a couple weeks ago. That's the last time we.
And
were
but we were going around that way, but then Diane skipped because David went in front of her because you wanted to wait until
Oh, till November.
yes. So this is our order.
Okay, then.
All right.
Or
Diane said-
David can do it.
So
Some-
next one would be me.
somebody's going to bring a topic next week. You got to come find out who.
Well, I need to know before we leave here today because I got to read a book.
Yeah. The next podcast people are here.
Okay. What's your choice, Diane? You want David to do it?
Do
Oh
you?
hell, I don't have a choice yet, but I will. So stay tuned for our next episode.
Stay tuned.
Next
And
week.
if we figure it out, while this is in post-production, we may even include it in the
There you
description
go.
for this episode.
Yeah.
Sounds good.
All right. Well, Haley and Hannah are here ready to sit down. This has been absolutely wonderful. We went a little bit longer than we normally do, but we also babbled a lot at the front end,
We
which was
certainly did.
super fun. It's good to get caught up with you guys. Yeah, I wouldn't. I'm a Raiders fan. All right. Thank you, my friends.
Thank you.
I love you very
Love you
much.
too.
Again, I think this
Love you too.
podcast is a love letter to both books and my friends, and you are my friends. So,
Same.
and as are all of you out there, those of you whom we haven't yet met, just know that we'll love you when we do.
Peace.
Bye.
Bye. This is the Patchouli Podcast Network.